Should Soul Calibur 6 be coming to the Nintendo Switch? I think it should, and I think there's a lot of reasons why, and I'm going to explain that in a moment. But first, I want to put out a disclaimer. I'm recording this video on December 14th. There's supposed to be a Namco event on December 15th, and a lot of Nintendo Switch games are supposed to be announced then. So, by the time some of you guys may watch this video, it is possible that Soul Calibur 6 may have already been announced or confirmed for the system. So if that's the case, I want you to guys watch this video in a way where it's kind of like me talking about why it belongs on the Nintendo Switch. So I'm going to be going over this from like those two different angles here. So let's kind of go over why Soul Calibur belongs on Nintendo systems. Okay, so Soul Calibur 2, my favorite arcade fighter by a long shot. Like, it is my favorite arcade fighter of all time. It is so good. In my opinion, it is the pinnacle of the franchise. And on the Nintendo Gamecube, it sold way better than the competition on PlayStation 2 or Xbox. And what's really special about that is that at the time, the PS2 definitely had way more units out there. The PS2 Ultimate ended up selling like 5-6 times as many as the GameCube. Like, there were way more people who wanted a PS2 than a GameCube. Yet, despite that, the GameCube version of Soul Calibur 2 did the best, by a pretty decent margin. So you have to think that there would be other Soul Caliburs coming to Nintendo systems after that. Well, no, it never happened. Soul Calibur 3 was basically paid out by Sony, so it would be an exclusive for them. And then with Soul Calibur 4 and 5, the Wii was so underpowered that in order to get the game to run on that system, they would have had to have created an entirely different game. So it just made more sense to develop the game for just 360 and PS3, where they make more money with those two combined as opposed to the Wii, and just create a spin-off for Wii owners. And I don't care about spin-offs. So yeah, there has been no real Soul Calibur since Soul Calibur 2 on a Nintendo system. But fast forward to today. Soul Calibur 6 has finally been announced. It was rumored to be coming to the PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch and not the Xbox, except at the Game Awards something different happened. It was announced for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and not the Nintendo Switch, which is a little disappointing. However, it doesn't mean it's not necessarily coming. There's a few reasons to believe that. One, apparently there's like some sort of weird watermark on the website that suggested there could be another console the game is coming for, and that probably would be the Nintendo Switch. But we don't really know, it hasn't been confirmed yet, so I'll just shy away from that little detail and talk about some actual facts here. Okay, one, like I said, traditionally, Soul Calibur has done well on Nintendo systems. Well, at least, there's the GameCube. I mean, I guess that's pretty much it, right? But third-party games in general are doing really well on the Nintendo Switch. They are selling better than the competition in a lot of ways. Xenoverse has done really well, another Namco game. And I know Namco has a decent partnership or relationship with Nintendo now. I mean, they actually developed Smash Brothers. So you would have to think that they'd be at least willing to consider Soul Calibur 6 on the system. Especially since the Nintendo Switch is perfectly suited for Unreal Engine 4. NVIDIA developed the chipset inside the Switch with Unreal Engine 4 in mind. The system runs Unreal Engine 4 like a dream. I mean, look at Snake Pass. That game is relatively graphically intensive for an indie game, and that game was ported over to the Nintendo Switch in less than a week. Normally it takes at least a few months to get a game like that running on a system. So it just goes to show you how well the Nintendo Switch runs Unreal Engine 4, and how easy it would be to get the game, Soul Calibur 6, which is running on Unreal Engine 4, to the Nintendo Switch. It would be an easy process. They basically would just have to scale down some assets and textures, maybe resolution, maybe frame rate. Which is something I know some people may not be happy with, and maybe could be a contention point. I know there's a lot of people that are really upset that Bayonetta is an exclusive to Nintendo, even though Nintendo pays for that game to exist. People want it to be on a powerful system so it could run better and look better. I get it, that makes sense. So maybe people won't want Soul Calibur on the Nintendo Switch if it can't be at 60 frames per second. But here's something to note though. One, people are loving Doom on the Nintendo Switch, even though that's running at 30 frames per second. People love it and they think it's running fine. Okay, maybe some people will disagree, and that's fine too. But also consider this. Fighting games in general are not graphically intensive. It's literally just two characters on one stage with a little background. It's not that much to process. It's not a huge open world game with all sorts of crazy physics going on. So, I don't think it's really that hard to believe that Soul Calibur 6 could come over to Nintendo Switch with minimal difficulty and run pretty well. So then why hasn't it been coming to the system? Why? I mean, third parties sell well on the system. It's a portable system that really is suited for arcade style kind of games. Nintendo has a, GameCube, right? Like, Soul Calibur has done well on Nintendo systems. I mean, especially if they put Link and Fire Emblem characters, both franchises which are at an all-time high in terms of popularity. Like, there's all these different reasons why Soul Calibur VI could do so well on the Nintendo Switch. So why hasn't it been announced yet? Will it ever be announced? Well, it's possible that maybe by the time Namco realized how well the Switch is doing for third-party games, maybe they decided that it just was too late to bring the game over. That is possible. Or maybe they are bringing the game over, but it's going to be coming at a later timetable, like Wolfenstein 2. It came out on the other systems, like a month or so ago, and it's going to come out for the Switch next year, early on. That is possible. Maybe we'll have to wait a few more months for it. That may be the case. It's also possible that maybe Sony wanted to kind of highlight Soul Calibur 6 at the PlayStation X event. That way, so that way Namco sort of held back their big Nintendo announcement, which could be them showing off Link and Fire Emblem characters, to sort of pay homage to the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo fans and get people to buy the game even more, so that's also possible. So maybe that's why they sort of held off the announcement for the game. I don't know for sure, obviously not. And I hope it's announced tomorrow. I hope, or if not, maybe the January Direct. And if not, then maybe eventually, because I think Soul Calibur 6 belongs on the Nintendo Switch. Soul Calibur goes so well with Nintendo systems, and I'd love to finally play Soul Calibur on a Nintendo system again. I have such fond memories of Soul Calibur 2. It really is like my favorite arcade fighter. I can't wait. I hope it happens. If not, I'll probably still play it on the PlayStation, but it would just be right to play it on the Nintendo Switch. So guys, those are my thoughts on the matter. I think Soul Calibur belongs on the Nintendo Switch, regardless if it's confirmed or not for the system. But let me know what you guys think. If it's been confirmed already, why does it belong in the system? What are your memories of Soul Calibur 2? And if it hasn't been confirmed yet, will it be confirmed for the system? Can it run on the system well? Well, these are all things we can talk about in the comments below. So let me know what you guys think, everyone, and I'll see you all really soon. Bye.